Between the ages of 19 and 21, yes, I was an escort. I had a madam and everything. I went on dates, all of
Oh, she
this.
was
So
pimping you out. I hear you. Hey
me
man.
and about 8 other men. Um,
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
Nigga, you was in a stable.
you know what? And see, and that's the dehumanization of it. The fact that we would be considered a stable. That's crazy, right? It's crazy.
Yeah,
So
yeah, for sure,
look, the
for
only
sure.
thing I would tell you is therapy is a motherfucker, and I'm happy I was able to get into it.
I have noticed over the past year that there's a lot of hurt souls that has taken over the red pill community. I knew exactly what they originally stood for. It wasn't about bashing women. It was about, elevating yourself. It was about, being able to be a provider and things like that. But yeah, you got a lot of them now that's really um, they hurt. I see it a lot, and and it's really transformed. Now, when it comes down to looks and stuff, I've never really cared about that. I don't think I'm a 10. I just don't think that way. I just think I just do the best that I do with my body. I work out, I eat right, take care of myself. People gonna judge you for what you are. Sexual market value, men gonna always look at you eventually sexually because they think that's what they want to have sex with you. So that will never go away. How they're spilling it is I know it's just kind of all over the place. But those things don't bother me at all. They just don't bother me because at the end of the day, you can look, you can want what you want, but can you get it? That's just how I am. You can want who you want, but can you get him? Can you get her? You know, um, do some people inflate themselves because of the sex? Yeah, you hear women all the time. I get any man I want. Oh, these men will sleep with you all day long. You can probably get the finest dude to lay down with you. But what are you really looking for outside of that? I think sometimes we as women that's starting to using the sex market value more than anything, more than men. um I think because we just trying to keep up in so many ways. But um so I heard a lot of good points up here earlier. So but yeah, when it comes down to the red pill community, there's a lot of hurt people out there. And I will say this, just don't listen to them. I mean, if they're making you feel that, oh my God, they're dog bashing out all women. I don't feel like they're bashing all women because I ain't one of the women. I know what they're talking about. So they are talking about a small percentage of women that are acting that way, or the women that they're able to attract. They're attracting those women that they're now talking about. The women are talking about the men that they are attracting. They can't attract nothing better. So of course they're going to sit up here and complain about it. And we got to know that everybody not going to qualify for a certain type of people. There's certain type of men I know I don't qualify. I just don't even. I'm not even attracted to. I was telling the girlfriend the other day, I'm not even attracted to white collar men. I love construction workers. I love men that work. I love men that work with their hands. My ex-husband owns his own construction business. That's what I like. That's what I'm drawn to. A white collar man, I'm not drawn to him. But that doesn't mean, I don't know. I know. I think that some women just.
I'm not active like on the podcast as many of you all are. Like y'all been at it for years. Like I'm like super duper new to this. I would never come on here and act like I just know a lot of this and I don't. Like I'm literally looking up red pill and blue pill. Like I know I've seen videos, like I know about fresh and fit and podcasts and all that, but I've never delved into it to really understand like their viewpoints and see people. I think the problem is like St. Reese was saying, the trauma turns people into extremists. It started out real good, like, yeah, go ahead, let us know like what we're doing wrong, where we can come to a common ground so that we can see some improvements in our overall interactions and our relationships and marriages as a community as a whole. Like I get it. But once everybody got to coming from a hurt place and you're hearing people triggered and now they coming back and it's like a back and forth and it's like now we lost in that. And we didn't got so far disconnected from the point, which is again for us to have just a common space. It's to the point people can't have their own opinion. You come on here and say something, and now you're going back and forth with somebody. I'm not talking to you. I'm telling you either how I feel or what my perspective or my opinion is. If you're triggered, that's on you. Like it's not my fault how it's gonna land with you. You got to take that and do what you gonna do with it. I'm just letting you know how I feel. So if anything, I just feel like we're all looking for an answer. And I just feel like the solutions have already been given to us. And even though it's 2025, like we steady hyping that up like we supposed to be creating a wheel, like recreating a wheel. I've said that before already, before I'll say it again. Like I don't really feel like a lot of this is new to us. It should really be, if we looking at it the way it is, it should be true to us. Like we as women, we know what to do to lock down and get our men. I just think a lot of this, we've been humbled by their opinions. We've been humbled by what they've told us. Like we've been humbled. Every woman is not a 10. You're not. Like that's just what it is. You can't get anybody that you want, especially when you haven't done the necessary work. You haven't. You don't choose when you get married. You are not in a man's space where he should be. We shouldn't be competing with them. It's just, I think it's just a lot of, like I say, people just running from the truth, running from who they are or running from who they're not, faking until they make it. And a lot of this, like I say, these podcasts have been revealing that. So I don't want to like keep going. I'm gonna do like y'all be saying, like, let me land my plane. Like I say again, I think a lot of people are just looking for solutions, but you're looking from hurt people. And so I don't think you're ever gonna find a real solution from those people. Just take what resonates deeply with you, do your own work, and see what results you can get based off of that. Like, don't keep running to the internet. It's like me going to Google to try to find some shit. Like, if it's not a verifiable source with results.
As far as the sexual marketplace value, I really think, just kind of going back to what Ms. Pearl said, when you haven't done the work as women, I do feel like a lot of us don't do the work, and the work that we do is put into our bodies and making us look a certain way. And so I feel like a lot of times that becomes their entire personality, and that's I feel like that becomes the women's like whole personality. Is it going in and out again?
No, you
Okay.
good. You good. I don't hear
But
the
yeah, that
burping no
opens
more.
up the conversation for men to judge us on like, oh, she looks like this, oh, she's not a 10, oh, she's the, and that. So I feel like a lot of it is our fault, I hate to say, because we're not doing the proper work. Instead, it should be a discussion on like, oh, she has these type of values, oh, she comes from this type of family, oh, she has this type of certification or whatever she's working on with herself, and the men too. And also, I do feel like a lot of the men are hurt, and the passport bros, or my uncle used to call it the chronically single community, men and women, like they find each other and they feed off of each other because of these horror stories that they've been through. And the reality of it is, like, you're gonna get hurt. We've all been on earth for a decent amount of time. Like, somebody's going to hurt you, but you have to understand, like, you can't take that to the next person and the next person. Everybody's different. And my biggest advice to people that have been hurt, to regular people, is always just love the same. Like, don't let whatever you've done or whatever somebody did to you, don't let that taint the way you love somebody else. Like, that just wasn't the right person to love. It just, you got to keep going, you got to move on, and we have to do the right work to prevent actually feeling judged by the passport bros, or because they pride themselves on who they sleep with, how many women they sleep with, and that don't matter, because at 40, when you're still the passport bros, that looks crazy. Like, you need to get your life together.
And wait, what you got?
Yeah, y'all been hitting on. So Miss Pearl, you always represent Chicago well. Well, what you was saying, even without understanding the full concept, it pretty much was spot on. So the red pill and like the feminist movement, right? They both initially set out to do something positive, and create a correction in the world where they seem fit. So like with red pill, it was self-improvement for men, accepting the reality of who women are. And if it's a red pill guy in the comments, don't kill me if I miss a point, right? Understanding that a lot of it was supposed to be focused on self-improvement, getting your money up, getting yourself in shape, and all these other things. That was supposed to be the focal point of it. And mentorship, older men teaching young men how to matriculate through society, give them mentorship on jobs, how to deal with different relationships, give them the understanding of how to operate in a marriage, what the expectation was, how to operate as a husband and a father, and teach from some of the mistakes they had been through that got them divorced and all that stuff. Those people still exist, but then there's also a segment where men just be trying to catch a thought slipping. And Frank Castle, I think that's what they called it. where they find a woman that's real young and not experienced, and she gonna say some crazy stuff because they pumping all type of weirdness out in the atmosphere now, and then they can embarrass her and she get mad and they kick her off, you know. So both those things exist, but the thing that's gonna get the most publicity is you watching somebody get kicked off. It's like world star fights. When you see the most sensationalized stuff is gonna always lead. If it bleed, it lead type stuff, right? And the same like with feminism, it had a goal of getting women to a place where they wasn't subjugated and they felt less than and all this other stuff. Then it turned into all men are bad. Yeah, we hate men. We don't need y'all for nothing. Don't give me chivalry. Like it morphed into something different, right? So yeah, both of those things just went in a complete opposite direction. I think he was bogus for calling it gay though, because even if they was focused on doing all those things to attract women, they're attracting women, so that's not gay at the end of the day. Like I can't see that being gay, but yeah, I think it served. It could have served a great purpose, and then it veers off. But the other stuff, I believe, is still there. Because I had the same understanding as you coming in, that like a fresh and fit, that was everything, that was the entirety of what the space or what these men were engaging in. And I kind of found out that it's accurate concerns as far as the experiences that some of them have been having. And the same with like the radical feminist women. They've been through some stuff. I read a comment section one day and she was talking about how her father had done XYZ to her and then traded her off to the uncle. And if I was her, I hate men too after something like that. And then a guy talk about how he got somebody pregnant, or he thought married her and found out the baby wasn't his. Like they be dealing with real life trauma. Like, so I can understand where all of this hurt is coming from. They do need to heal it and not push it out on other people. But yeah, like you said, it's a lot of hurtness, like grenade going back and forth at each other. So yeah.
Hey, Jay, I know you had a thought. Then we're gonna play a clip right after that.
Yeah. So the thing that concerns me the most about calling it the sexual marketplace value is not only are we dehumanizing relationships, we're dehumanizing people. We are talking about people under the terms sexual marketplace value, as though you can walk into somewhere and if you got a certain amount of funds, then you can afford this person. You can buy this person. You can buy this amount of time. I mean, if it's that case, if we're gonna dehumanize it and bring it down to that small of an idea, then we might as well, those people at least, might as well start investing in sex work. It's still out there. And both men and women are in the industry. Shit, I used to be a professional when I was younger. Is if we're putting sexual marketplace value as an idea that encompasses people and their worth, their value from who they can be with and who they can't be with, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to continue this idea to where we're going to look at each other and not see human beings anymore. And that's actually a part of the problem that we're seeing right now with the red pill community. Because here's the thing, the ideal is the manosphere, right? The manosphere is the umbrella. And what's under the umbrella is red pill, passport, incels, I think certain men rights groups, et cetera, et cetera. The only reason why I mention that is a few years ago, the FBI has started to flag the manosphere as violent extremism. There were reports warning passport bros that, hey, these countries that you're going into, you're not coming back from. They know why you're coming over here now. Places like Colombia, places in Brazil, Thailand, if I'm not mistaken. As for what's going on in America and Canada, incels specifically, also under the manosphere, right next to red pill bros, they're taking people off this planet because of their own hurt, because of how their lack of feeling, by looking at people as a sexual marketplace value item. So what I would wish, even if they don't change their whole ideas, we got to get rid of the idea of sexual marketplace value. You're not even talking about humans anymore. You're talking about something that you can purchase or, I don't know, win in a contest.
So you
So
don't think there's any?
real quick. That was a great take, Jay. But did you before we play the clip, did you say you were a professional?
All right, so I let it slip sometimes,
Go ahead.
without going into detail. But between the ages of 19 and 21, yes, I was an escort. I had a madam and everything. I went on dates, all of
Oh,
that
she
shit.
was pimping
So
you out. I hear you. Hey,
me
man.
and about 8 other men.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
You was in a stable.
you know what? And see, and that's the dehumanization of it. The fact that we would be considered a stable. It's crazy, right? It's crazy. So
Yeah, for sure.
look, the
For
only
sure.
thing I would tell you is therapy is a motherfucker, and I'm happy I was able to get into it. I've
I
gotten
think
a lot of work in therapy. So,
Good, good, good.
I thought you was speaking like metaphorically, like I was professionally
That's
out here
why.
in these zones. Oh, you was out here selling D. Wow.
Nah, he said professional. I kind of
but
know what that means.
I'd,
So
I'd
just
say
want to
this
be
one
clear on
last
that.
thing, because, and I really hope I'm able to come back. I'm saying this because I'm looking at my my device battery.
Okay.
I think you guys will be, and not just you guys personally, I think the general public will be surprised at how little bedroom activities are happening in that line of work. There are so many people out here who are lonely, who are paying for time, paying for conversation, paying for a +1 at an event. There was a lady who paid me to drive her car to a date that she paid for us to be on, just because she wanted to see what it felt like on the passenger side. There was a lady who paid for sets and wanted to call me by her husband's name because that's the only man she ever been with. There are people out here, and on the other side, for women with men clientele, there are men who are just paying for time just to talk. They have no interest in doing nothing else. When you are behind those closed doors with those people who pay for your time, you find out who these people actually are as human beings because they can control it. They've paid for it. Otherwise, they don't trust the general public or even their families with a lot of the things that they're going through. With that being said, I guess the only thing I can say to leave out of here is before my device give up on me is be kind to yourself, man. Try it. And I mean that for everybody. I absolutely mean it for my brothers, but I mean it for everybody. Make sure you say something kind to yourself about yourself.
That's
Because
right.
the more you say kind things to yourself about yourself, the less you need it from everybody else.